those pieces were incredible. And I want to thank both you and Dan and Amber, who has a little friend joining her now. We do have a couple of questions I just want to address before we close. One of the questions was, um, how do you accomplish playing together, like putting these pieces together virtually? And how much time goes into editing and making the piece? So it looks like a lot of time.
Yeah, so in the beginning, of course, it's all new to me, the editing part. So a lot of people use the application that you can download off your phone, but I actually got a more professional one. And of course, there was nobody teaching me. So I did hours of YouTube videos. So thank goodness for YouTube. You can find practically anything that you want to learn. So I basically learned how to edit videos through watching YouTube tutorials, and then if sometimes I wanted to do something special, I'll type in, I Google to see what's called the special technique, and then I search for the video. And so on the very technical part, it's basically someone has to record his or her part first. So that's kind of the foundation. So one person records and then send the video to maybe another musician or two other musicians, depending if the piece is a trio or duet. And then the second musician would put a headphone or earbud, listen to the first recording, and then play with that. So it's almost like playing with a real person, but not really. And you lay down your part based on the same tempo. So that's mainly for tempo reference. And then if there's no glitch, I can pretty quickly now I know how to edit things, so I can quickly put it together. But sometimes technology fails. You have different phone and different speed of recording, and somehow it goes out of sync. So if I line up the beginning of the, let's say it's a duet, I line up the beginning of the two tracks and it's perfectly in sync. In theory, they should last in sync together, but sometimes it doesn't. It goes out of sync in the middle. So then I have to cut the videos where it's out of sync, try to manually put it back in sync. And the one bizarre thing, this is more than you want to know, but it's my frustration when I edit videos. Sometimes I don't understand even why if it's my video of me playing, I record with my phone, sometimes the sound and the visual will go apart. I don't know how that goes. So in the software, again, the software is so advanced. You can do anything you want. So usually in the software, I separate the sound and the visual. Usually it's linked together. You separate, and then you move one kind of opposite direction until it looks right. Then I put it together again. So a lot of things can go wrong, and depending how many things can go wrong, that decides how many hours I spend on putting the videos together. So it's not the same as playing together, but it probably sometimes takes more time than actually playing with a real human being.
Well, these were absolutely stunning and crisp and clean. You guys did an amazing job. I would like to open it up for anyone that would like to take themselves off of mute and ask. We do have a couple minutes left if you want to ask Yuan-Qing some questions, or our friend Amber, I believe, is still on, our music therapist. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? A lot of really positive comments in the chat throughout the program. So thank you. Are there, I will ask personally, are there upcoming programs that Civitas Ensemble has that we could support or participate in? Are there programs that you're working on now?
Thanks for reminding me, because I was going to mention that we are actually playing two concerts, maybe without audience. That depends on what the governor or what the city looks like. But we are going to have two concerts, one in March 28th, and the other one is in June 5th. And those concerts will be at DePaul University. So we will be playing in person, maybe with a mask, maybe further apart. But we also will have a production company that would record live performance and put it on live stream. So if Dan has something to add, you can add to that.
Yeah, I think the plan currently is we'll definitely be live streaming, and hopefully we'll be able to have maybe some audience members by then, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So the live concerts without audience we have done for the Chicago Symphony also has a separate difficulty because we have to be spaced further apart than usual. We have to be 6 feet apart from one person to another. And then by the time you have a septet or octet, I'm like 20 feet from one of the musicians. So it causes trouble with ensemble. And as a funny thing, because I'm studying the Jesse Montgomery piece that's coming up next week, and I was watching a YouTube live performance, and I thought it looked so weird because those musicians were so together, so close together. It looked so wrong to me. I was thinking, why are they so close together? This is wrong. So we are already used to sort of being apart. So next week, it's the same thing. We have to wear a mask and then very far apart from the other musicians.
That's so interesting because even now, when we sit together as a family and we watch a movie and we see people in crowds, we're like, oh no, that's not right. Everyone should be separate. So it's funny. We're so trained now to be separate that when you do come together, it's just maneuvering the new reality, right? So anybody else, we'd be happy to inform our members of the Village Chicago of your upcoming programs. So that would be wonderful to gain that information from you so we can promo that in our newsletter. We have a lot of music lovers. So we would love to support you guys and appreciate you bringing this to us this evening. Last call for any further questions from anybody in the audience. Eleanor, you are on mute. If you could take yourself off of mute, I see you talking. So if you kind of hover, there you go.
Do any of you have a degree in music therapy, music thanatology, I think it's called, when you go to people who are dying and you perform music for them? I think that's a specialized field.
That would be Amber. Amber, you want to tell us a little more about that?
Well, there's a difference between music thanatology and music therapy. Music therapy is a college degree. Then you have to do a 6-month internship, and then you have to sit for a board certified test, and then do continuing education. Music thanatology, I believe, is typically played with the harp, and it is for end of life. And it's just a certificate. So there's no college degree attached to music thanatology. Just as important, wonderful, great. Music thanatology, like you said, is typically used at end of life, whereas music therapy is across every aspect of life. I started out working with children with behavior disorders. A lot of my friends work with children on the autism spectrum. And so it can kind of go across all fields, from the NICU all the way to end of life, whereas music thanatology is typically used towards end of life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Well, first, I want to thank our audience for joining us this evening. Thank you to all of you who have joined us. And I want to thank Amber Price, our music therapist, for sharing your insights with us. Yuan-Qing Yu and Dan Hickey of the Civitas Ensemble, really wonderful work. We're so happy that you were able to come and share this with the Village Chicago. And we hope to continue this relationship because, as you know, music is so vital in our everyday life. We finally have gotten a gift of the Alexa, which I haven't had. I'm a little outdated, but every single day now I say, Alexa, play me some dinner music. Alexa, play me some morning music. And it's just so nice to have that coming into my world every day because it really does improve on my mood, and it just changes and just allows my whole household to enjoy it. So, and this was beautiful, really lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank
for
you.
joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at the Village Chicago, and we will be sending out a an assessment, and you'll get that in your email tomorrow. So please fill that out and let us know what you thought of this program. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Night.
Jen.
Thank you.